I wanted to go, I sound like a commercial then, I wanted to go live and share some of the mistakes that brands make when exhibiting at trade shows. Now, it might be their first show, it might be their second, their third, and I just wanted to bring this to you because I did a little reel on it yesterday and I wanted to share some of the mistakes, or 5 of the most common mistakes I see. So let's get straight into it because I wanted to make sure that you're aware of these if you're about to exhibit at a trade show, if you're thinking of exhibiting at a trade show in the next 6 to 12 months, whatever it might be for you, to really make sure that you don't make these mistakes. Now, I have exhibited or been involved in over 100 trade shows in my time, and that's from Australian shows, New Zealand shows, international, so I've been in the US shows and UK as well as Paris ones. So being involved in different shows around the world, and so this is relevant for wherever you are. Now, what some of the mistakes people make? Let's start with number 1, is they assume that buyers will just come. Now, of course, you are spending money so that buyers will come to you, but you cannot assume that they know that you're there. And there are a lot of different stands there. And even when I know that my brands are there, I've still often got to search them out. So you can't just assume that people are going to find you because you've invested the money there, which of course is part of it. But you do need to invite people beforehand. You do need to build brand awareness that you're going to be there. You need to have a build up to that you're going to be there at this show. And you need to invite buyers to come and see you. And ideally make some appointments. But that used to happen a little bit more. It doesn't happen as much anymore. But it's something that you can certainly still invite people and still make people aware that you're going to be there. And that's from your current stores to potential stockists that you're interested in, your ideal buyers, like your dream ones that you'd love to have. All of those are potential ways that you can get in front of people, or even send in samples and things too. All right, that's just one little mistake that I see people make, that they assume that buyers will just come and find them because they've invested in the trade show in itself. Of course, that's part of why you do it, but it's not the only way to get people to get to you, to come and see you. Number 2 is that they design their stand and it just blends in. There's no something to attract someone from a really long way away. And again, when you are a buyer at these shows, and I've done this as a buyer many, many times as well, you are seeing so much, and it is information overload, and it is, a lot to consume and a lot to get through. Some of these have aisles and aisles and aisles and rooms and rooms and rooms of different exhibitors at these trade shows. So you need to stand out. So that's mistake number 2. People blend in. They don't spend extra money on whether it's, a contrast color paint. They don't have enough signage so people can't actually see them from a distance. There's nothing to attract me there. Whether you might not necessarily sell plants, for example, but you should have a beautiful display in your stand, if it's relevant to you, of something that's sort of going to attract me. Is it a dry flower arrangement? Is it something else? What is some sort of special detail or visual merchandising that you can add to your stand to stand out and so you don't blend in? We want to attract people to you, even if it's maybe not right for them. They come up to you because they're like, what is all this excitement, or what is something that's going to attract me to them as well? So that's number 2. So we're going through the biggest mistakes you make at trade shows, brands make. Number 3 is you don't bring anything physical to give buyers. So I see this because people, obviously younger generation, I'm getting to that, what is it, Gen X, I am Gen X, but the other generations now, everyone assumes that everyone wants digital, but not all buyers are the same. Not everyone wants to take something physical away with them, but you should have something physical for someone to take away with them if they choose to. Whether that is a postcard, a catalogue, a little sample, a bag, a giveaway bag. What can you give them physical to take away? And again, it doesn't have to be a full sample, but you should have something physical for people to take away to remember you by. Clearly you can send them an email, you can scan their badge, all those sort of things, but having something physical they can take away to remember your brand by is super important. I just thought I've got one thing here sitting here. So this is just one example of a postcard that you might have. Yes, having something tangible. Thank you, Complete Streetcar. Yes, it's something they can recognise after the event. And as a previous buyer, I would keep all my trade show in paraphernalia in a filing cabinet, and so then I could go through at different stages. If I'm like, right, I've got some budget to spend some more money, I'm going to go through my catalogues or my flyers that I took away of things that obviously piqued my interest at the time. Whereas if you've got an email that you got 3 months ago when someone sent you something, it's not going to get remembered. You might put that on your pin board as a buy, or you might be like, okay, when I've got the budget, I'm going to buy that. I might not buy it right now, but I'm going to remember that. And you can have something like a QR code on the back to your catalogue. All right, so that's number 3. Have something physical to take away with you. That's one of the mistakes people make. Number 4 is they think of a trade show stand like a market. Now, the way that you design your stand for a trade show compared to how you design it for a market stand with retail consumers is very different. And a lot of people make the mistake of setting up their stand like a trade show, like a market and not a trade show. So trade show, you want to invite people in more, you want buyers to come to you, you want them to peruse the range, so you want to look at the whole range. Whereas markets, you're selling individually like small units, and you've often got a barrier in front of you. So don't think of your stand the same way you would a market stand compared to a trade show stand. And look, you can still use some of the same items, so whether it's your furniture or your displays or your signage, but the way you set it up should be different. Okay, so that's number 4. So we've been through 4 mistakes that brands make when they're exhibiting at a trade show. Number 5 is they don't consider what conversations they're going to have. And I know this is such a little thing, but I know when I was working with one of the scholarship winners, I am what's it called? A prize. I'm part of the prize when someone wins a scholarship for the Life and Style Scholarship. And part of that is I help them set up their trade show. And one of the things that I think people forget about is how you're actually going to have a conversation when someone comes to your stand with a buyer. What are you going to ask them? What do you think they're going to ask you? What answers do you need to have ready? So having a few things like that, consider the conversations that are going to take place and have answers ready, have responses ready, or have pre-thought out like what conversation starters you can have. And don't ask retailers don't tell retailers, that you're tired from standing up all day when they, as retail buyers, most of the time are retail. That's what they do every day, all day. So they get a bit annoyed when they hear that same thing again and again from the exhibitors. So don't do that. So let's just go through the 5 mistakes and what they are. And the reason I'm sharing this as well is because I've got a 3-part series on Trade Show Bootcamp, because anyone who's about to do a trade show should be coming along to my 3-part series, which I've made it 3 parts. It used to be 1, and I was like, it's just not enough information. We need to do it in 3 different sections. So I've got 3 live sessions coming up starting Thursday. Just comment bootcamp to get access. If you're on live, I might just have to send it to you separately, but just still comment and I can send it to you to get access to it. And it's $29, so it's a small investment, but it's 3 parts live series so that you can get more understanding of what to have ready, what to do before the show, what to do during the show, what to do after the show. As I said, I've been involved in over 100 trade shows, so all those little things that you don't know that you need to know, we're going to cover in the session, as well as really dig deep into all the areas as well. But 5 mistakes that I wanted to bring up today were people assume the buyers will just come. Don't. You have to actually make an effort to invite them and make them aware of where you are, your brand, and there's all different ways we do that, and I'll go through that in the Trade Show Bootcamp. Number 2 is they just blend in. You don't consider the design elements to attract people to your stand in the first place. Number 3 is they don't carry anything physical. We really want to have something tangible to take away with us, so as a buyer. So make sure you have something physical. Number 4 is they think of it like a market stand, not a trade show expo stand. They're quite different the way you should set them up. Number 5 is they don't consider the conversations that are going to take place, what you need to have ready, what you need to have prepared, how to actually engage with buyers, especially if you're an introvert and this is not your forte and sales aren't your thing. Having this information ready is going to make you feel much more calm, confident about the money that you're investing in this trade show. Trade shows can be super expensive. We want to make sure that the investment that you're making, you're maximizing it, that you are getting every single possible potential income from this trade show. And whether you get that on the actual days of the show or you get it afterwards by your follow-up and everything else that you're doing, we want to make sure that you're maximizing the investment of your trade show. So if you want to come along to my 3-day boot camp, just let me know. I'm going to be doing 3 live sessions there from Thursday, the following Tuesday, the following Thursday. And I can't wait to share so much in there. There's so much detail that we're going to get through, and really covering as a brand what you need to do to make sure that you'll have ready, and to help alleviate any stress or anxiety about it too, because you know that you're going to be so prepared, so organized, feel so confident in everything you're doing, and you're really maximizing that investment that you're making in the trade show. So can't wait to share that, and let me know if you've got some other ideas about what the mistakes are, what are some of the big things people do. Comment in the in this replay and let me know. I think I'm going to have another podcast and share like a whole lot more about this as well, because I know it's some of those things that people, as I say, that you didn't realize that you didn't know. So all these things can be really helpful for people who are just starting out in this area and don't even realize I love a trade show and how much fun it can be, but there is a lot of work involved and there's a lot of things to think about behind the scenes. So getting as much ready prior means you're prepped and organized, and you're maximizing, as I said, that investment. All right, got to go. Let me know if you have any questions. I will answer in the replay as well. I can't wait to share and welcome other people into the boot camp. And as I said, 3 days. The day 1's before the show, what to have ready, what to have organized. Day 2 is all about the during the show, everything you need to be doing and maximizing and to planning for that. And day 3 is the after, like what do you need to have done afterwards to really get every single, squeeze everything out of that trade show event that you've had and you've taken place in. All right, I'll share more in the next little few days, but I look forward to hearing who is going to come along. All right, bye.